John Deere versus Claas.
You really know how to make me cry when you give me those oceans. I'm scared. I'm quite the side, falling under your ocean eyes. Those ocean eyes.
Now we've already seen this before. Pammy and John Deere did a test together last year in canola and wheat with the John Deere and the Claas. And although the report was supposed to be unbiased, it was biased. And John Deere pulled ahead, used that for marketing. So ever since I've kind of read that, I've been kind of curious about, how good is the new X9? It's a fantastic machine. I got to drive one last year for about 4 hours. I was in the X9 and I got to move fields with it as well. So I got to try it on the road with the tracks. And it was a beast. There's some video, I have some video of it. I couldn't release it last year because they didn't want any of the stuff out, but I have a video of it passing. I was in a 780 and it's about 8 o'clock at night, 8:30 at night. It was starting to get really tough. And the X9 absolutely smashed the 780. Even when I was in it, as soon as you get back into the 780, I felt like it's like I wasn't even farming. It didn't even feel like that machine was so much better than the 780 that I was blown away. It felt like I was in a Tonka truck or a Power Wheels is what it feels like, because it's just so much more horsepower. There's so much, it's just a way bigger machine. It's fantastic. So I'm gonna preface this video by mentioning that I am very much John Deere oriented. I do tend to favor John Deere. Just being in the equipment for so long. I've been treating Deere radicals since 1985 when the 8820 Titan Turbo 2 came out. We saw a big move, then migration from one machine to another. What essentially Deere radicalization is it's the obsession and the obsession with the John Deere brand and the marketing. Yeah, funny enough, I actually had no idea I was Deere radicalized. When I look around and look at my house and stuff, I see everything is John Deere, in fact. And like a lot of things that I got into these deeper issues of, got deep in my rotors there and found out more about myself. And my whole friends, my whole crowd of people are John Deere people. So, of course, when I Deere radicalized myself, I became friends with all these guys, and we all kind of encouraged each other. That X9, that marketing, that was hard to beat. I had no idea that was happening, and it's cost me a lot of friends. In the end here, I've lost a lot of John Deere friends over this. It's tough. We see the same pattern all the time. Is whether it's a hat or something, a John Deere piece of memorabilia. They just start attaching themselves to this brand, and they don't quite see what they're doing. It's tough to watch, and it just progresses. Soon they stop waving to Case guys or New Holland guys, and they'll only wave to Deere guys. Then, they'll only attend events that John Deere sponsors, and they'll only buy plates and spoons and all these things from John Deere. Not just equipment. They're wearing John Deere T-shirts and hats, and becomes their whole wardrobe. It becomes really sad what happens. I just didn't know. I didn't know. I thought, I exercised my Deere privilege, and I would often just go to the front of the line at supermarkets, or I would apply for a job and all I would write is John Deere on the top, my phone number, and then a John Deere logo, and I got calls all the time. I had that Deere privilege. I would often bring it up. I'd wear my John Deere gear, so people always knew, get out of my way. This world belongs to me. So, yeah. We have ourselves in another extreme case here. we know this gentleman has been running John Deere for the past, well, his entire life, he said. And he had no idea. And what these radicals do is, you know, they find each other, you know, and not in a store or whatever, and they plan things out and they get together at rallies and they hold these John Deere versus Case rallies, or John Deere versus Claas rallies, or John Deere versus New Holland rallies, and they always turn violent, they always turn ugly. It's so just treatment. We find where the problem is, how deep the problem goes, and we reprogram them into society. You know, all the John Deere marketing doesn't help, and the hype and all that stuff. It constantly feeds it, and you know, they start saying some real interesting things to all the other people. Well, when I started all over, it was tricky because my world kind of came crashing down. Yeah, can I get a John Deere of donuts?
I'm sorry.
Or, sorry, case of donuts? Can I get a case? What do they come in? You know, I lost everything, my friends, my family. You know, I had to reteach myself how to walk. It's a pretty severe case. They say it's the worst case that they've ever seen. So
I'm doing it. I'm fucking doing it.
the crutches thing, I've never seen. I don't know what the fuck that was about. Yeah, no, I got my family back. Now I lock them in the basement so they'll never go anywhere ever again. Yeah, it's going to be a good season. I think this is going to be a real good season, real strong. You know, the combine seemed great. The crew is great. We're going to have a very strong year this year. It's going to be fun. Ha! Be a lot of fun. I hope I don't get you know, radicalized by Claas, because we all know what kind of happens when the Germans radicalize. You know. Okay, we're done here. We're done. The brand is iconic. It's actually the oldest brand in the United States. I will say a few other things. The John Deere X9 came out. It had a 40-foot header because the Claas was running a 40-foot header. The Claas is an 8700. It is, this is its second season, so it was bought new last year. But we are at the start of the year as well. You know, we've had time to tune the Claas combines, and the day before John Deere came out, a Claas rep came out, did some panning, and in the wheat, which is extremely tough, down to 1/8 of a bushel on the rotors and 1/8 of a bushel on the sieves. So that's what it was throwing out of the back. You know, 2/8 or 1/4 of a bushel in the combine. In tough thrashed wheat. It is extremely tough wheat because they got 3 inches of rain and it was baked all year long. So it is very tough. You know, it white caps pretty good. You got to stay on top of it. Comparing the 8700 to the X9, the X9 has 18% more separating area. It has 12% more cleaning area, and it has 113 more horsepower at max. So it's a bigger machine altogether. So, you know, when these two kind of matched up, I thought, you know, on paper and everything, that the X9 should blow the doors off of the Claas.
Put your head on my shoulder.